right, we got Kevin Pillar here joining us on the KNC Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan. I've never really forgiven you for being such an irritating player when you were with Toronto, but you were so good, and it was irritating. Did you know that?
Yeah, I would imagine there was players on other teams that could get annoyed of me making plays. As a hitter, you hate to see it happen to yourself, and there's a point in my career where I felt like I was doing it daily, so I could imagine how that could be annoying.
Well, we did forgive Bochy for beating us in the World Series, so I'm sure you win a World Series, we'll forgive you, all right?
Yeah, I imagine that's probably a little bit more painful. So, him coming in first year and winning one for this organization probably made it a little easier.
We've actually never had the opportunity to talk to somebody that was on the other side of that whenever all of that was going down. What was that experience like when Rangers, Blue Jays, the chaos that was going on in that stadium that day?
Yeah, I've been able to go back a couple times and kind of watch the series in the entirety. It's kind of the thing I do when I have when my wife's pregnant, I'm in the hospital, and I'm waiting on her to...
So you aren't Netflixing. You're like,
no.
Baseball.
Yeah, there's times where, you're either it's before the baby comes out or when the baby comes out, you're sleeping on this little hospital bed or little cot, and you're just... I guess mostly when I had my first kid, because it was kind of right in that time frame. I was still in Toronto. All that stuff was still kind of new, but there's cool ways to go back and kind of watch... the entire series, each game being like 30 minutes, just like a very fast version of it, and just kind of reliving that whole series. It was just wild. The fact that, we were pretty much unbeatable after the All-Star break, after the additions we had made, and then, Blue Jays hadn't been in the playoffs since early 90s. We win a division. We host the first two games of the playoffs, and we go down 0-2. And then obviously going to Texas and just kind of take care of business, get it back to Game 5, and just everything that kind of happened and transcribed during that game. I just remember Cole Hamels being pretty much unhittable. I think he gave up a solo homer to Eddie, gave us a little bit of life. It was back and forth, and then obviously the seventh inning unfolded. Obviously starting with the ball off the bat, play that, you guys have probably been in this industry for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been playing for a long time. Wasn't really sure of the rule.
Right, yeah.
And to kind of learn about the rule in that moment, and that magnitude of a game, to go down by a run in the seventh inning, you're like, oh my God. And then just to think what happened after, the ground ball to short.
Yeah.
I came up next. I had a ground ball to first. The missed throw at second, then the misplayed the bunt, and then there was the blooper, and then obviously the home run. Just talk about the polar opposites of emotions, where it's already so the intensity and the emotions are already so high going into an elimination game like that, and then to lose the lead on a play that happens millions of times a year, the throwback to the pitcher from the catcher for it to hit the bat and ricochet, and Odor to have the heads up to just run home and touch home plate, and them counting that run, and then to have him hit that home run. And from that moment on, after he hit the home run and the celebration, in our heads we knew it was over, because we knew the two guys we had pitching at the back end of the bullpen, Sanchez and Ozuna, it was over. It was just a matter of getting those last 6 outs. But going out to center field, you're feeling pretty confident about, okay, we got these two guys pitching, and then you kind of just fast forward a year, everything that kind of just happened over the course of between obviously the fight, and then playing Texas again in the playoffs, kind of just going in, swooping them real quick. It was just It was a fun time to be part of that rivalry. It would be nice to be in a place long enough again to kind of feel the magnitude of a rivalry again.
To potentially make that happen, who is it on the Blue Jays or another team that you would really like to punch in the face to help amp that up?
I'm down to go anytime, anywhere.
I love it. I love it. So, non sequitur about childbirth, since you brought it up. Let me ask you this hypothetical situation that definitely didn't happen to me. If your wife is pushing and she says, I can't do it, and you grab her hand and you go, yes, you can, I believe in you, that's supportive, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you think it's fair if your wife, after the fact, said, you yelled at me while I was in the middle of childbirth? Because that's what happened.
No, I don't think it's fair, but I'm sure your wife or my wife would probably remember it a little bit differently. But
yeah, that's fair.
We have different males in general have a different tone in their voice and way of what we think is motivating or encouraging can be seen as aggressive behavior or yelling. But hopefully whoever that happened to is they've moved on from it and they're just excited for what happened after the fact.
We don't typically get to see batting practice and all that take place during spring training out on the field. Yesterday we were watching. It looked like you got clotheslined by the warning track at one point. What exactly happened out there yesterday?
Yeah, we were doing some outfield drills and we were working on going back on balls to the wall, and I had those molded cleats on and a pretty hard warning track, and decided to put the brakes on and slipped and fell. And it's not how I was hoping to get a little scraped up for the first time. Hopefully it was like a hustle double or something. But it just makes me look tough around here, though.
There you go.
I know you want to make sure you're okay, but do you also bounce up hoping that maybe nobody else saw it, even though we all definitely did?
No, there was no way people did not see it. It was right in the middle of the field. That's one of those things you hope we don't hope ever happens, but you would be a little bit more fortunate if it happened on one of those backfields. But of course, first day for me too, getting out on the stadium field, really just trying to kind of speed up the learning curve a little bit for the time I missed, really trying to push myself, put myself in game situations, trying to go hard back on some fly balls, and you slip and fall, and then you kind of question maybe I shouldn't, maybe I just go in the treadmill or something and get my cardio. I don't need to do it on the field.
Do you think that's why they call it Surprise Stadium? Because it really had
That was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
It's just funny how it kind of foreshadowed that event too. I was talking to Evan Carter. We're talking about just our cleats and stuff, and I'm I'm not a big mold guy. Normally I wear them in spring, when we're, I want to get my feet comfortable to cleats, but I would never hit them because I don't like to slip. And then sure enough, you go out there and slip.
Did he say, or did he give you a look?
He's like, yeah, he did. We talked about it. He's like, isn't that funny? We were talking about molded cleats, and I'm like, yeah.
But he did it in a really polite way, right?
He's very nice.
Yeah.
Very polite guy. Very polite guy. Yeah, very nice.
I feel like even his trash talk is probably super polite.
Yeah, I can't even imagine him trash talking. So hopefully he'll start chirping here soon.
We also have been told you have chickens and llamas.
Yeah, chickens and llamas.
How is this do you take care of them yourself?
I have responsibilities, but obviously me being here now, my wife and my kids do them. Llamas don't really require a whole lot of maintenance, though. They pretty self-sufficient.
Okay.
What drew you to them? Yeah.
I can't really tell you the real reason why but there's certain requirements to have in order to do certain things in the state of Texas. So
I'm just going to presume he lost a bet, and now he has to raise llamas.
Yep.
So we'll just go
That's
with
it.
that.
I lost a bet, and I have to raise llamas now.
Once again, a hypothetical situation that's definitely not about my wife. Let's say that she told people a long time ago she loves llamas. Now, everything people give her is llama-based. She doesn't know how to break it to them that, she likes llamas, okay, but that's
she doesn't
not
love them.
Yeah, that's not what her life revolves around.
I think she just needs to be honest. Tell
Yeah.
them,
I'm
enough
with
is
you.
enough.